golf of your life. Now you can by calling for your free trial issue of Golf Magazine. Issue after issue, Golf Magazine gives you proven tips to improve your short game, develop better touch, fix your slice, straighten your hook, drop more putts, drive longer, and more, all to have you saying par, par, birdie. When you call now for your free trial issue, you'll get the Golf Magazine gear bag with a roomy shoe compartment as your free gift. Call now for your free trial issue of Golf Magazine. If you like it, get 11 more issues, 12 in all for just $15.94. Plus, get the Golf Magazine gear bag free with your paid subscription. Call the toll-free number on your screen now.
Catfish. What a great arm. Who is that kid anyway?
Of course he's got a great arm, Buttermaker. He's the best athlete in the area. But you don't understand. That's Kelly Leak.
You guys talking about Kelly Leak?
Yeah.
That dude is a bad mother. Talking about a loan shark. I borrowed a nickel from him last week. He said if I can give him a dime by Friday, he'd break my arm.
That's su bandido.
Baseball tonight, every night at 10 and midnight on ESPN.
A 205 horsepower engine, four-wheel anti-lock disc brakes, the most standard safety features in its class, and OnStar on board.
OnStar. Your flight's right on time, Mr. Davis.
And right now, during our Get Packed event, buy a 2001 Buick LeSabre equipped with OnStar, and you also get round-trip air travel for two on Northwest Airlines, in addition to the available $1,000 cash back. So take off today in a new LeSabre.
Purdue staggering Notre Dame a little bit here early, 16-5, 11:59 to go first half. And Annie, in the last 5 years at Purdue, you can't tell the coaches without a scorecard.
I know. Lynn Dunn she was there from 88 to 96, and she was in the Final Four in 94. Nell Fortner was Big Ten Coach of the Year. She left to coach the Olympic team. Carolyn Peck took over, who was an assistant. And then they won the championship. Christy Curry steps in, but the mainstay has been the two assistants, Pam Stackhouse and Carrie Crimmins, who've been there the last 5 years. And those coaches have kept those assistants, have helped also keep the players at Purdue not to transfer.
I don't think I have ever seen a list of coaches like that in a program that wasn't in a lot of trouble, not a program that's been a success. Riley out of the timeout gets her first field goal of the ball game at the 11:42 mark.
Good ball rotation by Notre Dame to bring it back up to the high side with Kelly Seaman passing it in to Ruth Riley. She does such a good job. She's got great hands keeping the ball up high.
Camara and Douglas working in the backcourt. They leave Douglas alone. She loves that spot, and she's hit 2 threes from there. Full court pressure. Here comes Seaman. 2-on-2. Seaman with a runner. Haney offensive rebound, and a nice follow by Haney. She has 4. And Notre Dame with a pair of quick baskets to come to 10 again.
Notre Dame is going to have to be more effective against this Purdue team as far as rebounding. Purdue's doing a good job on the boards. And now in a man-to-man by Notre Dame.
Boy, Wright nearly got away from a walk, and that distracted Camara, and the ball went right between her legs out of bounds.
And offensively, Purdue, we're trying to figure out, okay, now we got to set up in the man-to-man because Notre Dame had been playing the 2-3 zone, and they came out and played that man.
Haney goes to Riley, and Riley with her second bucket. She has 5.
There are 5 dark jerseys around her.
They may be playing man-to-man, but they forget it when she gets the ball. Right goes baseline. She's already had a big first half. Blocked by Riley. Nice save in there by Ivy. Ahead to Haney. Douglas back. Douglas flopped trying to draw the charge, and Cooper with a rebound.
Well, Haney did a good job staying under control, but you got to shoot that ball a little higher off the board.
Camara picked up by Ivy. Cooper, this is the way they started, trying to send Cooper right after Riley. Hit block out by Seaman.
Seaman just sealed. Turns off her back, even off the baseline.
Riley again fakes the pass, and she's hit on the arm. Then we'll go to the line for a pair. Tomorrow, Major League Baseball opening day presented by Home Depot on ESPN at 1 o'clock. The Braves and the Reds. Then at 4, the Cardinals against the Rockies on ESPN 2 at 1. The Kansas City Royals and the Yankees at 4. The Padres and the Giants at 10. The Oakland A's, the Seattle Mariners. Plus, you will see other regional action. Well, it's always nice to be able to say opening day. That's beautiful.
I'm going tomorrow.
Good for you.
Dodgers against the Brewers.
Camara picked up that last foul, her first, and Riley at the line trying to cut into that Purdue advantage and hits them both.
What's so impressive about Ruth Riley, you can talk about the offense, and she's Naismith Player of the Year, and the reason being, not just because of her academics, she was 3-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year.
Parks into the ball game, tries to enter the lane and can't. Lean in, and Hearns, very, very tough in traffic, gets her first bucket. Full court pressure, Singh. Gets it to Ratai, really hasn't had much of a look. Haney goes baseline, powers it up. Riley with a follow. Riley, who started very slowly, now has 9.
Coming into the game, Muffet McGraw said, we don't just need 20 minutes of Ruth Riley, which in the last 3 games, that's what she's been playing, is the last 20 minutes of a game. We need the full 40 minutes, a first half and a second half out of her.
Douglas got a screen and throws the ball inside and throws it away. That is the 8th turnover already for Purdue.
And the last time these two teams met this year, they had 26 turnovers against Notre Dame.
Seaman took the wraparound pass, goes in and has it blocked. And so far, Sally Bell, Scott Yarborough, and Lisa Mattingly have done an excellent job officiating this ball game. They're letting them play. .8:27 and counting. Douglas, same spot that she hit the first 2, misses this, and she can't chase it down. Are they going to give her the timeout? They are. They said Douglas got to the ball and called time before she went out of bounds.
30-second timeout.
Muffet McGraw talking to Ruth Riley as far as that hustle play, but Ruth Riley has come alive in the last few minutes for the Irish. Good ball rotation. She keeps the ball up high. You can see how defending her is very difficult because of her size, but also where she gets the ball. She gets good position, and it's difficult to move her out of there.
9 points, 4 boards so far for Ruth Riley. National Player of the Year named by Naismith, and also the only unanimous choice on the AP All-American team. 21-15, Purdue broke on top early. Now we have 8:22 to go. There's Sharon, Ruth's mother,
who raised 3 children by herself, and that's her granddaughter, her other daughter, who's going to graduate from Notre Dame. And that's kind of been a push for Ruth. Ruth said her sister was always so academically inclined that it pushed her into academics, and that's why she takes it so seriously. And her mother's always been on the kids.
Camara throws it away. Haney picks it up, and she's going to wait for help. Give it up to the senior point guard, Ivy. The 5th-year senior, Ratai. Love to get her on track from the outside. A brilliant shooter. Riley wheels into the lane. Basket and the foul.
Well,
And the foul will be on Cooper, Andy. That's 2.
If you're going to come to play, this is it. Ratai does a nice job getting the ball inside because it's a one-on-one situation. And Riley got hit early in the face, and that's where the foul was. But they call it on Cooper, as you said, 2 fouls. And Ruth Riley is really demanding the ball. Now, you talked about other players getting involved for Notre Dame, but Riley's doing it all right now.
Riley completes a 3-point play, and it cuts the lead in half. 21-18, Riley already with a dozen.
If you're driving in rain, it's important to know if your car has anti-lock brakes.
Where to, ladies?
Oh, I don't know. Where do you feel like eating?
Ooh, how about that new place on Main?
If you don't have anti-lock brakes and begin to skid, release the brake pedal. Gently reapply pressure and steer in the direction you want the car to go. As your tires regain their grip, you'll regain control. For more foul weather driving tips, get this free book from Shell. Count on Shell.
They say the trick to riding the rapids is staying alert. Like my Subaru Outback. It's got full-time all-wheel drive, so it's always on the alert. Ready with the traction you need, the second you need it. Subaru Outback, the world's first sport utility wagon. Of course, where I come from, they don't require a helmet. Then again, they don't require a kayak either.
Now you can get financing as low as 3.9% APR on all 2001 models.
These are quarter carats, and these are half.
They're beautiful. What kind of cut is that?
This is a round cut. If you look hard, I'm sure you can see them.
They're fantastic.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
These are 8 carats, and these are 10 carats.
Make it a Bud Light.
Unrecaptured capital gains, investment expenses, sole proprietor. No matter how complicated your taxes, H&R Block will solve them for you because we do more complex taxes than any CPA firm.
Do you know you can refile past year's tax returns? Francis DeMartin did, and you can too with the H&R Block Double Check Challenge. We'll re-examine your 1999 tax return free. We may even find you more money.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship is brought to you by Subaru. Visit us at Subaru.com to see our full line of all-wheel drive vehicles.
Back in St. Louis at the Savas Center, we're playing for a national championship tonight, and here's the story so far statistically. Purdue hitting 8 out of 20, Notre Dame 7 of 19, but look at Purdue's rebounding advantage, 16-9. They have given up the ball 9 times on turnovers. At one point they led by 11, now the lead is 3. Hearns leans into one, can't get it. Crawford into the ballgame, offensive rebound, and she's fouled.
And those offensive boards, they had 21 offensive rebounds against SMS.
That's amazing.
And 19 out of 3 opponents, they've out-rebounded.
Alicia Ratai picked up her second personal on that last play. Loose ball, another follow, and a great basket by Hearns. She has 4. She battles.
Purdue in their own zone now.
Riley has scored the last 9 points from the Irish. They're trying to punt her now, but there's always help behind. And Haney steps in the lane to hit a jumper. She has half a dozen. The lead's back to 3.
And this is the chance that Christy Curry's taken. Haney averages almost 11 points a game, but she's not the big-time scorer that Notre Dame has on their team, so they're allowing her to get some easy shots.
Crawford caught up in the lane and just throws up a prayer, and they bailed her out with a foul. She was in no man's land there. Before, most of the year Purdue has done a good job. You can tell that from their record on rebounding. But the first 4 games, they actually had a deficit on the board. Then against SMS, they just exploded with a +18.
And this is when you have to come to play. It's crunch time. This is for all the marbles, and you better hit the boards. And most of the coaches take care of the basketball and rebound. Going into a basketball game, that's what a lot of coaches will tell you.
Candy Crawford, a senior out of Fort Wayne, does not get many minutes. She's at the free throw line, missed them both. Loose ball, Crawford got it back. Excellent hustle. Then Ivy with a steal. Ivy just tossed that one up against the double-team defense.
Niele Ivy, the hometown player, trying to go in off the left side, and that's why it's so important to work on your left hand, your weak hand, as much as you do your strong hand.
Douglas looking inside, tries to penetrate. That shot is blocked from behind. I think Riley got the block. I don't think she'll get the foul, though. It's going to be on Haney, her first.
Here's Teresa and Thomas Ivy, Niele's mom and dad. They were a little concerned the other night when Niele went down, got hit by Diana Taurasi, and a lot of people thought it might have been her knee. She had 2 ACL operations. That's why she's a 5th-year senior.
You know, sometimes things work out, Amy. If she hadn't had the one knee as a freshman, she would have completed that year instead of getting a redshirt year, and she would not have been able to play in the Final Four in front of the hometown fans here in St. Louis. So sometimes things work out even if we don't know they're going to. 25-20. Purdue with the lead over Notre Dame.
And also the fact that Ivy was a part of that 97 team that went to the Final Four. So she knows what it means to be here.
Riley Riley has 14 big points, and Notre Dame's cut the gap to 3 again. Back in that 2-3 zone that they like so much.
The one thing about this Irish team in this zone, they don't get rattled. Even when they're down, they just methodically come right back at you. They know what they have to do.
Right, dumps it low. Kicked outside to Parks with 5 on the shot clock. Parks tries the 3 right. Another offensive rebound, and Ivy picked her pocket. Ivy with those great quick hands.
And Sharik Wright, 5'10". She's one of their best offensive rebounders.
Riley touched it last, out of bounds. Another turnover for Notre Dame.
But Ivy probably not making the passes that we've seen her in the past. Just not quite as sharp right now.
5:30 and counting. First half, 25-22. Boilermakers over the Irish. An all-Indiana final from St. Louis. Crawford backing in against Riley. A runner. Seaman with a loose ball.
Hearns almost got that.
Yes, he did. She is tough on the glass. Bad pass by Seaman. Riley never had a chance to get to that one. Douglas wanted to spot up for that 3, and she traveled.
Well, first of all, the turnover by the Irish in coming down. Kelly Seaman just looking for Ruth Riley, and the weak side, all they have to do is rotate the ball back over to the left side of the court and get some passes in the offense, because, again, Purdue is doing a great job sagging down on Riley and getting 2-3 bodies on him.
And that was a surprising mistake by Seaman, because she is such an excellent passer. They like to use her right here at the top of the circle or at the free throw line. Joyce convinced to try a 3, clanks it off the glass. Riley with an offensive rebound, and she's fouled. And it's going to be on Crawford. It's a tough match for Crawford in their 6-1 against the 6'5 Riley.
Crawford really trying to get the ball away from Ruth Riley, and kind of double position right there. Riley just pulling it away.
Reach in, steal by Douglas, then she threw it away. Joyce got it, but taken back by Purdue.
Douglas is so good at anticipating deeper.
Shanika Parks, the senior from California, brings it up, goes inside. Hearns with a miss. Crawford tries to power it back up. Hearns, basket in the foul.
Ruth Riley does such a good job avoiding the block. That's one of the things in the last 3 years that Bucket McGraw talked about, was that she gets into foul trouble with silly fouls. Well, that wasn't a silly foul. I thought she had good position. She stood straight up. The arms are back. They called the bump. But there was a bump there.
Underneath.
There was a bump also before.
Purdue destroying Notre Dame on the boards as Riley will go to the bench. A +10 advantage for Purdue.
And as we mentioned, that's what Connecticut did in the first half against Notre Dame. And Notre Dame, it's almost like they've got to focus. They're trying to find people to block out, but Hearns and Wright are so quick getting to the offensive glass.
The 2 freshman front court players have been sensational. This one's knocked out of bounds off of Notre Dame. Well, the Irish are getting their opportunities, but they can't convert.
You say, who does this tempo favor? Well, both these teams are high-scoring teams. And Purdue has lost more in low-scoring games than Notre Dame has.
Hearns working inside, missed the shot, tried to get her own rebound. Cleared by Barksdale for the Irish.
I love Hearns' quickness going after the ball after a missed shot.
Joyce to Seaman. Ivy is the cutter down the lane with a left hand. Got it. First bucket for Niele Ivy.
Ivy had 21 points in the big game against Connecticut. She was 3 of 5 from three-point range.
And that was her first 20-point game since the 3rd game of the season. Notre Dame had 3 players around that loose ball and managed to kick it out of bounds. That's the way the first half has gone for Notre Dame. They are down by 4. Can the seniors and Niele Ivy bring them from behind?
Some folks call it a lawn. Some call it a yard. But it's really more than that. It's a piece of your life with a life all its own. Sometimes a playground, sometimes a ball field, always a gathering place. So how do you care for a piece of land that will be in your family a long time? With a piece of equipment that will also be there. Cub Cadet isn't like other tractors. It's better made, and it's dependable and lasts for years. Cub Cadet builds its lawn and garden tractors with solid steel drive shafts, welded steel frames, and cast iron front axles. And we back them with a 5-year limited warranty. Call us to find out more about the complete line of Cub Cadets in the name of a dealer near you. Buy a tractor before May 1st, and you'll get a free trailer or a free pressure washer. Cub Cadet. It's simply the best tool for your piece of the planet. Every day, AmeriDebt helps more people with money problems.
My credit card debt was outrageous. Then I called AmeriDebt. They contacted my creditors and got my payments almost cut in half.
AmeriDebt is a nonprofit organization that offers free consultations to consumers seeking to eliminate their debt.
Every month I pay our credit card bills, but the balances never seem to get smaller.
AmeriDebt got our interest rates reduced, and now the balances are dropping dramatically.
Call 1-800-843-5400. AmeriDebt, helping America get out of debt.
Two eager CEOs. One encouraged his employees to read the Wall Street Journal. The other did not. Let's join them for their 5-year anniversaries and see what happened. Imagine what the Journal could do for you. It's now easier to get the Journal to help you. Get 8 weeks of the Wall Street Journal for just 38 cents a day. That's 50% off the regular rate. Call 800-313-1600. That's 800-313-1600. For the Wall Street Journal.
Purdue is leading Notre Dame by 4. Ruth Riley is an All-American, and Muffet McGraw says she got there by working as hard as anybody she's ever had.
I think she's incredibly motivated to get better every single day. She never takes a day off. We can't keep her out of the gym. On our days off, she's at a gym somewhere on campus shooting. If she doesn't like her free throw percentage, she comes out after the game and shoots. Sometimes we have to throw her out of the weight room because she's in there so much, but she's just one of those tireless workers.
Ruth Riley says that she is motivated to get better every day. She has done that, and her numbers have shown it. Ann and Mike?
All right, thank you, Pam. And that's the way you get better is hard work. And a lot of kids don't seem to realize that, but the ones that do end up being, well, maybe here in the Final Four. Camara has the ball go out of bounds. And that is the 12th Purdue turnover.
Carol Owens in her 6th year as an assistant with Notre Dame. She played at Northern Illinois. I had a chance to do some of her games, and she's been kind of a mentor to Ruth Riley. And she said she took Ruth to go see Michael Jordan's To the Max movie, and there's a line in there that MJ talks about saying, I want people to come see me. If that's the first time they see me, I want to be able to perform to the best of my ability. And Ruth Riley really took that to heart, saying that's what hard work is all about.
Ivy misses on the 3. That would have gotten Notre Dame within 1. Douglas looking inside for Hearns, who now moves out with Seaman on her. Douglas with that excellent crossover dribble. Lean in and got it. Seaman wanted to draw the charge, but Douglas knocked it home. 30-24, Katie Douglas in double figures with 10.
Again, we talked about the versatility that she has. She's also left-handed, and a lot of players have a difficult time, even though they know she's left-handed, guarding.
Ivy down the lane with the left hand with a miss. Haney goes for the offensive rebound, and she's tied up. Possession arrow will give it to Notre Dame.
This year, Katie Douglas is averaging less minutes and less shots, and she's scoring less, but in the tournament, she has picked it up because she knows she has to lead this team in scoring.
Haney around a nice screen.